Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, these stories, they just get more sick and sick. These people are psychotic. They are. They got a bloodthirst and they are psychotic. You cannot communicate with people like that. And that's what we're dealing with. Animals that you just can't communicate with. So this is Yahoo News. This just came out today, May 28th, 2021. Probe launched into death of Black man whose nose was pinched shut by officers. Now, they're cowards, right? So they're going to make sure you're incapacitated. You can't, you're handcuffed, your ankles are cuffed, and then they're going to pull a stunt like this because, that's what cowards do. And this is Yahoo News, The Independent. An independent investigation is being done. This is Illinois, by the way, police department, following the release of a dash cam footage showing a Black man being assaulted in the back of a patrol car. The victim, who was identified as Eric Lurry, 37 years old, died while receiving medical treatment at a hospital at Joliet, a suburb of Chicago, after being arrested in January last year. So, you know how it is, right? Whenever they're caught doing something wrong, then the video is delayed for months and even a couple of years. So this was a year ago. In August, his wife, Nicole Lurry, who was the mother to his 3 children, filed a federal civil suit that named all of the officers connected to his death, accusing the police of masking his death, cause of death, by tampering with evidence. Isn't that what they did with Ronald Green? Same thing. Again, caught doing something wrong. Now we got to make up a bunch of stuff. And see, this is why I don't listen to none of you when you say Black people are the most violent. Black people are committing all the crimes, which is completely false. See, whenever you kill one of us and you got to cover it up, that tells me you are the problem. The problem is you. Okay? Always covering up something, always lying on police reports, always lying about everything. I can't take nothing you say seriously. And what these guys are doing is committing a crime. Instead of taking this guy and booking him and taking him to the jail, if you do anything less of that, you're a criminal. However, Mr. Lurry's death, local leaders in Joliet, including city manager Jim Caparelli and Mayor Bob O'Declerc, this is what they're saying. We have hired a lawyer to carry out independent research into the police department role in the case. And let me tell you something that is problematic. Look, It doesn't matter if there's an independent investigation. They're going to find these cops of doing no wrongdoing. And even if they do find something, the worst that's going to happen to them is they're going to get fired. They don't go to jail for just a straight up murder like this. They don't go to jail. We know this. And look at the faces of the people that are doing all of the investigations, too. They're all high IQ people. They're the only ones doing the investigation, so we already know what they're going to come back and say. All right. I think it's important we get the disinterested third party to do the top to bottom review of the investigation. This is what the mayor is saying, to know how we conducted our internal investigations and how we can improve our policies and procedures. Mr. Caparelli told the Juliet Patch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bunch of BS. Okay, when have policies and procedures stopped the legacy of murdering Black people? There's no policy or procedure they got on paper that's going to stop this. His comments come in light of the Sergeant Javier Esquidina. This is what they're saying, sharing the footage from the dash camera and local news channel WBBM TV. Wow, I don't know why people got to talk to me so badly today. I really don't. All right, I took care of that. Um, the video depicted his colleague, Sergeant Doug May, hitting a handcuffed Lurry. See, they got him in a position where he couldn't fight back. See, that's how they like to have Black men before they lynched them. Um, so he hit him across the face while he was handcuffed in the back of the patrol car and appearing to be suffocating him. And you can see the hand over his nose. So, you know, every day having to live with that was hard. So, this is the sergeant that said he was the whistleblower. And that's the Esquidilla. Anyway, every day having to live with that was a hard thing, knowing that this administration was probably going to do nothing about it. He said, yeah, you're right. As long as it's us, they're not going to do anything. But the Asians just dealing with barely a year of harassment, they get protection under the law. And us dealing with this for 500 damn years from the same ignorant fools, we don't get no protection. They want us out here to be vulnerable for anybody to get us. That's what they're doing. Okay. And then you see how the media also play into this. As soon as we see these horrific kind of deaths, these executions and lynchings that they are doing, the first thing they want to do is look at the man's background so they can find a justifiable reason. No, there's no justifiable reason for this. I don't care if he committed a crime. This is still unjustified. And who told you when you arrest a Black man, you get to execute him too? No, you've been doing this for centuries. This is your legacy. We are looking at your legacy. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. So I can't think of anywhere I was taught CPR or in the academy when you slap a man, call him bad names, cut off his airway, go for his throat. So he's saying this sergeant that blew the whistle is telling what happened. In the video, Mr. Lurry appeared to be told, "Wake up, B." This is how the one that choked him out, May, Sergeant May, that's how he was talking to him. By then, he was probably dead, and he's talking about some wake up beat. Through the footage, Mr. Lurry has his nose pinched by Sergeant Mary. I think they mean May, and they must have mistyped it, for roughly a minute and 38 seconds, while the officer instructs him to open your mouth. How about you not pinch his nose? Where is that in, in policing, that you handcuff a man, put him in the back of a patrol car, and then grab onto his nose to suffocate him? What policy is that in policing? Following this, another police officer put a baton into his mouth. Listen to what they're doing to this man. So, the officer that blew the whistle suggested that the arresting officers were trying to confiscate the drugs they have found on them, and that Mr. Lurry had put them in his mouth. All right, so let's say he did that. So how do you justify suffocating him? That still don't justify what you did. And what drugs were they? Be more specific. What kind of drugs did he have on him? So, okay, if that's the case, why don't y'all do this to those opioid addicts that you got running all around and laid all out in the streets in your community? Why don't you go up to them and pinch their nose? Why don't you use that kind of policing on them? Oh boy. So, following this, his revelation, he was let go from the force. So they just let this guy go. They just fired him. That ain't no punishment for what he did. He killed this man. That ain't no damn punishment. So he was let go from the force and later arrested and charged with 2 incidents of misconduct in December. That still ain't nothing. You murdered someone. This is in stark contrast with the 7-day suspension that Sergeant May was handed. According to Juliet Patch reporting, Sergeant May was also removed from the narcotics unit and given a position supervising other officers in a different department at the same station. So, okay, so this dude that's pinching his nose and killing him was a supervisor. Okay, so much for get a supervisor out here, because the supervisor going to be just as crazy and delirious as the other officers. Last year marked an international conversation about Black deaths at the hands of American police officers. The most notable was George Floyd, who died just over a year ago after Derek Chauvin knelt on his knee for over 9 minutes, sparking a wave of protest across the country. And then you want to know why we don't respect or trust your police. And you got the nerve to say to us, just obey. You can all kiss my black ass. That's what you can do. Obey that. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.